We're gonna talk about how everybody wants to say they're on this diet or that diet. Listen, I've said this for years. Diets are simply great if you have 5, 10, 15 pounds to lose, going on vacation, squeezing into a wedding dress. That's what a diet is. When you are 100, 200, 300 pounds overweight, you need a lifestyle, and you need to change your current lifestyle. You need to form habits, new habits. A diet doesn't really work, okay, when you're that size. Life changes work. The other thing that I want to talk about is, and I've really been talking about this lately, is what you're trying to diet now sustainable for your lifetime? You know, a lot of people want to go on keto, and most people really don't understand what keto is. Clinical keto, now there's modified keto, now there's bodybuilding keto. Keto was developed in the 1930s, okay? Then there's your paleo, and then there's this and that, and there's 9 different ways to be vegetarian, ovo, and I eat this but I don't eat that. I don't eat eggs because it didn't have a face, but I don't eat chicken because it did have a face. You have vegan. It's like anything in this world, right? You want to be accepted, okay? So like anything that's acceptable, there are groups, right? If you're emo, well, you wear dark, long pants and trench coats and act all weird. So, like anything, it's marketing. Like anything, it's what this person says they did, so well, if it worked for them, it's gonna work for me. You know, you go back to any of my videos, and from day one, I've never advocated only one way of eating. I've always used butter, I've always used macadamia nut oil, I've always used real olive oil, and carb source, I've always ate fruit. Now, my carb sources may have increased or decreased in the amount of carbs, depending on where I was in my journey. White rice, brown rice, sweet potatoes, and I love red potatoes. You know, red potatoes were awesome because in the skin, in a red potato, fiber count was higher than any other vegetable like that. More than a russet or a white or a yellow potato, even more than a sweet potato or a yam. So, my nutrition this entire time, that I've only supplemented along the way with some protein shakes. And I've talked about this before. I've never endorsed a protein company. I'll endorse mine now, you know. At ogrefitness.com, you can get yours. You like that shit? So, my protein sources have never changed. You know, I've never advocated eating chicken 5 times a day. I hate chicken, you know. There's a few times a week, maybe, when I make Ogre chicken. If I want to eat chicken, I will. I hate bad chicken. That rubbery texture kind of taste just makes me want to vomit. Turkey's awesome during Thanksgiving, you know, on a turkey sandwich, but as far as making turkey burgers or, you know, I'm not a big fan of it. I like bacon, and I like some kinds, you know, uncured ham. But overall, my diet that people want to always ask me about, that I laugh about, because again, it's not a diet. Everybody always says, what's your diet? What's your diet? It's my eating. That's it. It's my lifestyle. It's a part of my life. And I eat a lot of red meat. Now, I've had everybody in the past tell me, well, you can't eat fruit, and you definitely can't eat too much red meat because your cholesterol, and holy shit, you eat eggs, your cholesterol is gonna go skyrocket. I'm 265 pounds. I have lost over 225 pounds. I have put on 40 pounds of muscle, almost 50 pounds, I guess. And I've managed to keep this off for over 4 years. And guess what? I still eat eggs every single day. Now, one of the coolest things recently I did, which I never was expecting, is I got life insurance. And during that process, you have to have a blood screening. Now, back in the day, insurance companies, your premium would be much higher because you're obviously at a greater risk. Smokers, obesity, all of these things. And usually, you don't really get a very good price if your numbers are out of whack, right? They send you to a different underwriter and you have to pay a higher premium if you want to be this. Well, one of the things they do is they urine test you and they blood test you. Well, my blood results just came back, okay? And my blood results, now mind you, I eat anywhere between 8 and 20 eggs a day. And yes, I have meals that I'll eat 6 eggs 3 times a day. It's 18 eggs, right? So I eat bacon, I have butter, I do once in a while eat cheese. My carb source is fruit. My carb source is, red potatoes and white rice. On a level number, 140 being the absolute lowest and the best possible outcome for your cholesterol, mine was 149. I'm within perfect range of cholesterol, but I eat red meat and I eat eggs. How is this possible? My HDL, my LDL, they're in perfect ranges. My good fat is good, my good fat is bad, right? So good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. There's such a misconception. And one of the biggest misconceptions that we have when we are larger is that we think we can eat like this little person over here, right? Man or female, doesn't matter, right? They're ripped and everything. They've never been fat. They've never been 100, 200, 300 pounds overweight. So when they change their nutritional pattern, diet, they see a change right away, whereas we don't, right? If we lose 2, 3 pounds, it could just be in one of our chins. It could be in the crack of our ass. It could be our freaking feet. I used to weigh, when I was 485, I used to have a 15, 16 shoe. I wear a 14 now. My bone structure didn't change, but the water in my feet did. My whole composition changed when you lose over 200 pounds. But we get so stuck in the word diet. Oh, I'm on this diet. I'm going to try that diet, and the South Beach diet, and the Atkins diet, and this diet, and the Eat Right for Your Blood type diet. It's just food, and it's changing those foods. We know one thing is our enemy, and that's sugar. Hands down, sugar, period. They wanted us to believe for the longest time fat was our enemy, right? And eat more carbs. Well, guess what? Carbs convert to what? Glucose, sugar. So I want you guys to really ask yourself, those that are really trying all the time, the new diet, this diet, her diet, his diet, it worked for her, why can't I lose my first 5 pounds on what they're exactly eating? Is your diet sustainable? Are your eating habits for this new diet that you're trying, could you do that for a year, 2 years, 10 years, rest of your life? You see, when you're eating fruits, you're eating eggs, you're eating protein, you're eating rices, and you're keeping your calories, okay? This is the word. Everybody's so worried about macro. Fuck macros, because guess what? When you total your macros up, it gives you a total count of calories. So all these people, if it fits your macros, and what's your macro count, bro? And my fitness pal bro says I should have 500 grams of protein and this and that. What's your macro count? Fuck your macro count, honestly. It's what your calorie count is. And obesity, okay, obese people, we consume 3, 4, 5 times the amount of actual calories that it takes to keep us alive. You don't need 500 grams of protein, bro, and you don't need, I'm eating 800 grams of carbohydrates, but I have no fats. That's wonderful when you weigh 116 pounds and you want to go on a gear and you want to do a cycle and you want to weigh 205. That works for him. But for you and I, most of my followers, most of my family, we're not those little guys. We're not those little girls that are 130 pounds and they have an off season because they gained 10 pounds because they're trying to put some mass in their ass. It doesn't work for you and I. And that's the thing that you guys are gonna have to accept. And trust me, one of the hardest things ever was always, why can't I be like my boy, right? My buddy, Tommy, prime example, we've trained for years together. Prime example, right? This guy could be 270 one week, he could be 275 another week. He could diet down because he's a bodybuilder. He could get down to 225 pounds like that. That's because his body is not conformed to obesity like mine. I can go from 260 to 270 and jump around, or I could just stop eating completely good foods and I can be 300 pounds tomorrow. That is because my fat cells are adapted to that. You know, we can get into the scientific part and I have these people with PhDs and this and that, and these motherfuckers are still telling me, don't eat fruit. Well, explain to me how I ate fruit and I still lost 225 pounds. The difference was I wasn't pouring sugar on my strawberries. I wasn't dipping them in caramel sauce. People want to say, oh, I eat. Well, sure, you have a half an apple, but you have 12 tablespoons of peanut butter because it tastes better slathered on there. It's the right choices. You can eat most of these foods that these healthy people are eating, but you have to change your portion. I don't give a shit about your macro. I care about your portion size first. When I have clients that come to me and they say, Johnny, I'm ready to lose weight. I'm ready to do it. Okay, what are you eating? Well, and then every fat person comes to me, well, I really don't eat that bad, because they don't want to now tell me the truth, because in their head they're like, shit, man, I really eat a lot of food, right? Here I am giving them 6-7 ounces of protein, and I'm giving them a bunch of vegetables, and I'm giving them a little bit of a carb source, and they see their plate, and now when they're used to this size of a plate, and they're going back for seconds, and they're going back for thirds, now they're only one plate they get from me looks like this, because that's actually how we're supposed to eat. I always give examples of out of our country as an example. Go to France. Those little skinny fuckers eat pastries. They eat whatever they want 3 times a day, but they walk, and they're not eating 5 pastries. We can't just have a half a donut. We have to have 4 donuts, or we have to have an apple fritter the size of our face, because that is what we do in this country. You go to Italy, okay? I have relatives over there. You go to Italy, you go in Rome, people are beautiful there, and they're healthy, and they're skinny. They live into their 80s or 90s, but they're eating pasta. Why? They're not eating a bowl of pasta that is the size of your head. We do it here. And this is where the obesity is. It's not what your macros are, bro. It's caloric intake. And then on top of that, you don't exercise, right? So now you're eating 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 calories, and you don't realize how fast things. Just Google what a Big Mac at McDonald's, just a Big Mac with cheese. Look at how many calories just the Big Mac is. Now put a fry on top of that. Now put a supersized regular Coke on top of that, and look at the amount of calories for one meal. Now you and I both know, you and I would do that 2-3 times a day. And for you fucking people that are gonna say, oh, I don't eat like crap, bro, I don't. I eat healthy and I'm still not losing weight. You know what? I'm gonna call bullshit. Okay, some of us do eat healthy, but then we don't back it up with exercise. We're not walking for 30 minutes or an hour. You know, we think we do a set of curls and it's exercise. We think picking up your kid and shaking them around and laughing with them for 2 minutes is exercise. This is the misconception. This is the problem. We think that because we get up every day and go to work that we're burning calories and we can eat like shit. No, it doesn't work like that. Your body doesn't know if you're giving it this exact 271 grams of protein and I need 134 grams of carbs and I need 48 grams of fat. If you take all that and you multiply that by the calorie that's in the gram of protein or the carbohydrate or the fat, that's how you get a grand total of every day. So let's say you're eating 4,000 calories, but you're really only moving enough that you're burning 1,000 calories. Where's those 3,000 calories at? It's on your ass. It's on your stomach. It's on your titties. It's in your face with 4 chins. That's the simplest way I can break this down. And every single day, I'm asked every day, what's your diet, bro? What's your diet? What do you eat? What do you eat? I'm going to list what I eat, but I will promise you when I say this, it's not this thing that's just, it tastes so good. And I have people that describe food as if I was to describe a woman, right? I have people that describe donuts or chocolate or dessert because that's the obsession. And the reason why people don't stick to a nutritional plan is because it doesn't taste so good. When you're eating carbs and you're eating fats and you're eating salts and you're eating sugar and you go places, they're made for you to eat more. They're made to create it so you will be addicted to those things. And that's what we really don't put into our head. We don't look at the final number. We just think, oh bro, my trainer said eat 250 grams of protein or a gram of protein per body weight or 1.5 grams of protein per pound of bed. But if I'm 400 pounds and I'm supposed to eat a gram per pound, I'm gonna eat 400 grams of protein. You guys don't even know how much food that is. That's just protein, okay? Now carbs, bro, you gotta eat 250 grams of carbs, okay? Well, you gotta keep your fats around 100, or you gotta have 150 grams of fat, or you have to have 50 grams of fat. Then you have to multiply that what the calorie is in. You're eating 3, 4, 5,000 calories and you're burning 100. Okay, that's the problem. So I want you guys to ask yourself one question. Is this new diet that you're trying sustainable for, let's say, the rest of your life? And that is where we're gonna get to. We are going to move on to how do we eat healthy for the rest of our life, and then on those days that we're at a wedding or a party or on a vacation or a football game or whatever it is, you want a hot dog, you can eat a hot dog. You want a hamburger, you can eat a hamburger. You guys want to go to a pizza joint and have a beer, have one on a day. It doesn't have to be every day. Here's the deal. Most people that talk to me, I have them eat 4 or 5 times a meal, okay, or a day I should say. They eat 4 or 5 meals a day. Now I want you to think about this number. If I was to write you a nutritional plan and I gave you 5 meals a day in a 7-day period, that's 35 meals, right? Now I say, hey, you get one big cheat meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, doesn't matter. You can have pancakes, you can have syrup, you can have hash browns, you can have whatever. You wanna go to at nighttime, you want cheesecake and barbecue and pizza, one meal. If you subtract 1 from that 35, that means you're gonna have 34 meals in a week that are completely healthy. That one bad meal, okay, is not going to derail us. It's not going to just push us off the tracks and now we can't get back. The problem is we try to have one good meal, but then we have 2 bad meals. 2 bad meals turns into 3 bad meals, turns into not eating all day, and at nighttime we fall off the complete track and we eat everything in sight. That's the problem. It's a give and a take. Give me 34 good meals, I'll give you 1 bad meal. Because here's the thing, at 200 pounds overweight, 400 pounds overweight, that food's gonna last a lot longer than your life. So I want you guys to think about that. Is what you're eating right now sustainable for the rest of your life? Get out of the way of a diet and get in the way of a healthy lifestyle. That's it.